All right, so this video is for John. John wants to know how to do a cash secured put on TSL. This is probably one of my favorite trades. I'm going to show you guys how to place this trade. It's very important. It's a good skill to learn. I took the liberty. I don't know how much John wants to invest. And so I just took the liberty of estimating 10 grand. And don't mind, I have a blood mark right here because I was wrestling with my son on the trampoline last night. And I hit my big nose. So $10,000. We are currently trading at $12.77. I had to write it down. Normally, if you were to buy this outright, you would get 783 shares. But contracts are blocks of 100, right? So 783 divided by 100 gives you 7 contracts, okay? So that's what we're aiming for, is 7 contracts. Let's get into it. We'll pick the expiration date, and I'll show you guys a thing or two. And this is, just so you guys know, doing a cash secured put is one trade, okay? It's also the first step of multiple trades like you can layer onto it. Probably the most popular is the wheel. It's the covered call. It's that if you guys want to buy dividends, get paid to do so, okay? If you guys like dividend ETFs, do a cash secured put, get paid to take the trade. Stop just giving your money over willingly. Get paid to take it at the price you want it. It's the only way to do this, okay? Okay, so here we go. You guys can see that the stock is trading for $12.77. I have 107,000 in buying power. So this is what it looks like when you go to your options, okay? This is very important. We're going to sell to open. Now, if you're going to buy this back, right, you want to close it, you would sell to close. We're going to pick the strike price. We'll just put it at, 11 or 12, whatever you guys want to do. The blue is in the money, depending on which direction you're going. If it's like gray like that, it's out of the money. So we're going to look at like a month out, 7/25, July 25th, 41 days. We'll check the other dates. 6, just so you guys can see, you can see how the mid number changes. Okay, that's between the bid and the ask. I usually place an order slightly above the mid number. But 7/25 is a date, $11 put, with the mid being $1.35. You're going to collect $938 from taking this trade. So we're going to take your cost to buy, $12.76, minus what you are essentially getting as far as the premium, and that's your new adjusted cost basis, $11.42. So if you would be happy, that's what your account's going to be held for. Right? If you would be happy taking this trade and owning this stock for $11.42, then you should do this trade. All right, so now you have the funds in your account, that $930 something. $12, right, times the amount of shares you bought, 700, right, because you got 7 contracts divided by 100, so 700, is $8,400. $8,400 it's going to show up as almost like it's going to be removed from your available balance. Okay. But don't forget, you got the 900 like instantly into your account deposited. So someone who is doing a call is essentially, they're paying you that premium. Someone else on the other side of the trade is going to pay you up front. So anytime you're buying something, whether it's you're buying a call or you're selling a call, or you're selling a put, you are going to get paid the premium up front if you are on the other end of the trade, whereas if you are buying a put or you are buying a call, you have to pay the seller. Okay, now, we did that for a month. If for some reason the price just keeps going up, that premium is going to get, theta works in your favor if you're doing a cash secured put. Right, so the premium, it's going to show up as like a negative, and then there'll be 2 columns. It'll be a negative and then a positive. As time moves on, right, you're basically collecting more of that premium in a sense. And as the price goes, say, if it goes up well above your strike price, right, which is 12, say it's at 15. and you don't get exercised, right? Because maybe the other person on the other side doesn't want to exercise. The person who was buying, right, doesn't want to exercise that option. What happens? It'll either expire worthless on their end. You keep the premium, right? You don't give the premium back whatsoever. Or if you're into it for 2 weeks and you're like, all right, I just want to get out of this, then you have to buy to close, right? So that option contract is gonna come across the bottom of your screen with like the rest of your equities, and there'll be like a little button. You're gonna click on the button and it will say like roll, some change order, or it'll ask you to buy the contract, right? And so when you buy it, you could buy it less. Maybe it is a 20-cent contract now that you have to buy it for, right? 20 cents is $20 times 7. You guys do the math. It's $140. So you have to pay now $140 to close the contract early. This is just an example. Okay. But remember, you made $930 something from taking this on. You're paying, say, $120, $140 to close the contract. That difference, say it's $800, you get to keep that difference, okay? And you don't get assigned the shares. Your funds get released, not a problem. Here's the other thing: if your funds do get assigned, right, you get the premium. Say it drops down to $10, okay? You get assigned, not a problem. So we got the 936 or whatever and premiums up front. Okay. Now we have the stock, say it's at 10. Our average, remember, is like 11 something. What was it? No, it was like 1070, right? Because our strike is 12. So we got it at 12. Minus the adjusted cost basis for the premium that you already collected. Okay. Which was what, $1.30. So your average might be 1070. Maybe the stock's maybe it's at 10. Okay, so you're negative 70 cents. You would then look a month out, and you're gonna sell a call. And this is a covered call strategy, right? Is when you sell a call, that's a covered call. When you have the 100 shares, so you're gonna sell 7 contracts for, say, a month out. As a call, you're going to sell to open, call 7 contracts a month out, and basically you're using your shares as a collateral. Remember that you got paid to take. This price could go up to 11, right? Maybe you're not down. Remember, the price is still fluctuating up and down. You're going to get paid a premium again, right? So technically it averages down your cost basis. Always keep in mind your cost basis though. So when you write, if you sell and write are the same, it's the same terminology in finance. You want to be above your cost basis. So say your cost basis is 1070, right? And you're like, well, I want to sell a call slightly out of the money, maybe for 12, right? I'm going to break even, right? I got assigned for 12. I want to sell it for 12. That's breaking even, right? You get to keep the premium difference. And maybe again, you collect another, what was that? I didn't write it down. $930 in premium, $1,000 of premium, whatever it is. If your shares go above your strike of 12, okay, you can exercise. They get basically called away, meaning that the person on the short side ends up taking them away. You break even and you keep the premiums. Or maybe your call strike is at 14, right? You got assigned at 12 and now you're selling it at 14. Okay? It's that $2 difference times 700. It's 1,400, plus you got the premium when you bought and you got the premium when you sold. So assume that it's 900 when you bought, 900 when you sold, right? That's 1,800 plus $1,400 difference. Okay. It's a pretty good return. And you can do this 60 days. Now, this is where it gets really interesting, is how much did you actually risk doing this? Remember when you bought, when you got assigned those shares, you put up $8,400. And in this example, you just made like $3,600. Okay. It's like, I don't know, what's that, a 40% return in 60 days? Those are yield max numbers for like a year. Okay. What I just described to you was the wheel strategy. So I talked to you guys how to do a cash secured put. Now, depending on what you want to do after that, there's multiple steps. Okay. We talked about how to do a covered call, right? Which is when you own 100 shares and you are going to sell to open above your cost basis, collect a premium. And if they get called away, great. If they don't get called away, you get to do it again. Okay. And then when we put those two things together, it's called the wheel strategy. When you do a cash secured put and you do a covered call, it's called the wheel. You then just go, I'm just going to, so say you get assigned, right? With the covered call, you go, I'm going to open up another cash secured put. Now, instead of 10 grand, I just made an extra 3,600. Now I have 13,600. Let's do it all over again. And you do it again. And you do it again. And do it again. And the premiums you generate are sick. Okay. I think it is hands down, it's probably the safest trading you could do. And it's pretty much hands off. Okay. So there you go. I hope that helps. Let me know if you have any questions. And please subscribe, because I got my account taken down and I'm not gonna be able to help you guys. Again, this is free. I'm not charging you guys anything to do this. This is entirely free. I don't get paid from YouTube. YouTube just closed my account, which I wasn't getting paid for anyways, but I had started it back in 2017, so it was kind of sentimental. I had like 6,000 videos. And but please subscribe, like, leave me a comment. I appreciate it. And if you want any more information on how to do the cash secured put, let me know.